Check 1, 2. There's a mic. I don't hear the monitor guitar at all. You had it. You had it fine. What'd you do? Whatever you turned off, turn it back on. Scott, you've run this before. Do you think you might, Scott, you think you might help him out over there because I can't get a guitar monitor? Are you hearing any guitar?
You're in five. Okay, that's fine.
Well,
No, wait a minute. Yeah, you're in five. That's great. And you're in
That's
the
me.
foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we
Five.
had it, and then we couldn't get it, and it seems like my cables are brand new. Check 1, 2. Can you hear that out there? How's everybody doing? I take it you can hear me out there. Can I get just a little more vocal monitor, please? So I can hear me. Check, 1, 2. I like to take my guitar and go over to Fort Zach and sit under the pine trees there and look at the ocean. One particular Saturday I was over there, and it was during the sailboat races, and I looked out and I saw about 50 black sails all listing on the horizon. And between that as a beginning and the things that I saw on the beach, I wound up writing this short and sweet song. Now you got to remember, I was only here a few months at the time, and Key West was making its impression on me. And I had already decided to stay and see where it would lead. So anyway, I call this song A Place in My Heart. Sailboats on the water, racing in the wind. Little boy chasing seagulls on the beach, while his dog chases him. Sunlight glistens on the ocean like diamonds at my feet. Young lovers holding hands, they run and laugh. It's a perfect day in the Keys. Now I know in my heart I was meant to be here in the sun and the sand, warm weather all year. As I wake up each day, there's a smile on my face, 'cause I know that I'm here in Key West. Sailboats on the water, all listing in the wind. Pelicans diving on a school of small fish, while a cruise ship closes in. Lazy days and crazy nights, ebb and flow like the tide. Folks come from all around the world just to share in this life. Now I know in my heart I was meant to be here in the sun and the sand, warm weather all year. As I wake up each day, there's a smile on my face, 'cause I know that I'm here in Key West. This next song was actually the first song I wrote when I got to Key West. It took a few weeks of walking around and checking the place out and trying to figure out whether I was going to stay here or just start my adventure, because I was starting my life over, and I figured if I was going to start it over, I might as well start at mile marker 0. And what I didn't know was that I was going to make a home here. But when I first got here, I met Tim Wegman, and Tim was instantly my brother. He was my best friend, and he offered me a job and a place to live, and he gave me a foundation here in Key West, and I miss him every day. And but Tim really liked my music, and he kept asking me those first few weeks, "Hey man, have you written anything yet?" And I was like, "No, it comes when it comes." And on Easter morning of 2013, I took my guitar up to the marina, and I was just sitting there by myself. And I looked up and I saw a blue sky and I saw some palm trees. And I started writing this song. And as I was writing this song, I knew it was special. And it made me realize I came here for a reason. And I made my mind up to stay. So I go back to the music store and I say, "Tim, I finally wrote a song and it's pretty good." He said, "Well, play it for me." And I said, "Well, just remember, I immortalized your store in the song." Blue skies and palm trees at the marina, sailboats are swaying with the swell of the sea. Hear the cries of the seagulls, I feel the sun on my face. I'm down here in Key West, and it's a beautiful day. At Mallory Square, the roosters are crowing, many smiling people hear the call of the sea. Few folks are fishing, some are just walking. Down here in Key West, it's a beautiful day. I'm meeting people from all over the world, and there's a bounty full of beautiful girls. And at the music store up on Caroline Street, the sky is covered with guitars, and I can play, sing at sunset celebration and be part of the heart of everyone's vacation. It's a beautiful day in the concrete public. Yes, it's a beautiful day down in Key West. Over on Front Street, the barkers are calling, $5 for anything that we got in the store. Tom trains are running all over the island. Down here in Key West, it's a beautiful day. Some folks drink and party all night. On Duval Street they do it just right. And to catch you today at any place you eat is freshly on prepared. You can get on a boat and let the ocean soothe you. You can dive on the reef or sail to the dry Tortuga. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the concrete public. Yes, it's a beautiful day down in Key West. blue skies and palm trees at the marina. Sailboats are swaying with the swell of the sea. I hear the cries of the seagulls, feel the sun on my face. I'm down here in Key West, and it's a beautiful day. Yes, I'm down here in Key West, and it's a beautiful day. Thank you. Not too long after I wrote that song, I was in the music store one day and there was nobody around, and I was just sitting there playing my guitar. In walked one of the local liveaboards. He was a pretty good dude. He was one of those guys who had a party boat, and he had a bunch of people who lived on his party boat. And he came in the store and brought this beautiful young lady with him, and he introduced me to her as his girlfriend, Rose. And he said Rose was going to live with him on his boat, and he was wondering if I would play her that song that I just played, Beautiful Day in Key West. Articulate, and she's the kind of woman that made me want to be 24 again. And so let's just say Rose made a good impression. And they were there in the store maybe a half hour. But I couldn't stop thinking about Rose, and it went into the next day. I was in the store again, playing my guitar, thinking about Rose. And one thing led to another, as it happens sometimes. And 20 minutes later, I had this song. And I knew also while I was writing this one that it was going to be a pretty decent song. I can tell you this, she has never heard this song, but I thank her every time I play it. What you see for me, then I'll play what I hear for you. Then we'll create a world of our own, where we can be just what we want to be. Flying, you make me feel like I'm flying high up through the clouds, where only heaven knows that you are my rose. You are my rose. Only heaven knows you are my rose. I want to see the world through your eyes. I want to move you deep inside. I wanna hold you close to me. I wanna love you endlessly. Flying, you make me feel like I'm flying on a moonlit night, where only heaven knows that you are my rose. You are my rose. Only heaven knows you are my rose. If I'm dreaming, let me sleep all night long. If I'm not dreaming, I'm right where I belong. With you, with you. Yes, I belong with you. I want to show you all that I know. I want to be the one that makes you smile. And when there's fire in your eyes, I want to feel your lips touching mine. Flying, you make me feel like I'm flying on a moonlit night where only heaven knows that you are my rose. You are my rose. Only heaven knows you are my rose. Now paint what you see for me, and I'll play what I hear for you. I call this spoon. Wish I could fly, then I would fly home and wrap myself around you. There were tears in your eyes the last time I saw you, when we said goodbye. Life on the road comes with a price tag. I'm alone in a crowd, thinking of you, thinking of you. We talk on the phone, I'll sing you a song while you sing along with me. As we gaze at the stars, it helps us feel closer while we're so far apart. I wish we could spoon. I miss how we spoon. While we're apart, it lifts up my heart to know you're longing for me. As day turns to night, I never lose sight of what we have together. I wish we could spoon. I miss how we spoon. I wish I could fly, then I would fly home and wrap myself around you. There's a candle on the windowsill this cold December night, and there's a halo made of frost on the pane around the flame. As I try to reconcile myself to the things I've said and done, you can rest assured my words come from the heart. But in another time I might have hidden from myself. In another time I might have closed my eyes. I have finally learned the truth, though I really can't say how. There is no other time at all. Only now. Only now. Only now. As I concentrate upon the flame, my mind is laid at ease. It's my simple way to leave my cares behind. And I can meditate within myself, taking life on its own terms, starting every day an open book, new lessons to be learned. But in another time I might have hidden from myself. In another time I might have closed my eyes. I have finally learned the truth, but I really can't say how. There is no other time at all. Only now. Only now. Only now. Now as we all walk through this wonderland, never knowing what or why, if you say you have the answers, I will tell you they are lies. And though I make no claim of innocence, I'm not an actor on a stage, but I can sleep at night when I close my eyes. But in another time I might have hidden from myself. In another time I might have closed my eyes. I have finally learned the truth, but I really can't say how. There is no other time at all. Only now. Only now. Only now. got it? Okay. One of the things I enjoy about Key West is the slower, the slower pace of life. They call it island time. And this is my interpretation of island time in Key West. I feel the sand beneath my feet, Gulf Stream breeze to comfort me. A turtleneck staked out on the beach, coconuts in the coconut trees. It might be hard to make my rent, but time here is heaven sent. Time slows down, down in Key West. Now you can walk around all day, never really lose your way. 'Cause on an island this small, you can't stay lost for long. Now you can put your watch away, all you need to know is night and day. And time slows down, down in Key West. Just can't get on island time, just get off the island. Leave the city pace behind, just let go and relax your mind. Make new friends every day, watch the sunset while you sit on the quay. Live music wherever you go, why you can even take in a drag show. Leave all cares behind, don't have to worry about the time. And time slows down, down in Key West. Now if you just can't get on island time, just get off the island. Leave the city pace behind, just let go and relax your mind. After the sand my feet, Gulf Stream breeze to comfort me. Yardbirds running wild in the street, coconuts in the coconut tree. Now you can put your watch away, all you need to know is night and day. And time slows down, down in Key West. Yeah, time slows down, down in Key West. One more. I actually wrote this song while I was walking one morning. I had to rush home and grab my guitar before I forgot what I was saying. It's called You Are the One. Funny thing is, I haven't met this woman yet, but when I do, I will play her this song. As I sweep up the pieces of my rusted dreams, I can't help but feel somewhat blue. Then you come into my life with a new kind of light. Then once again, I think dreams might come true. You're the one, you're the one. I've been hoping for. You're the one, you are the one. You're the one that can open the door to my heart. Sometimes burning a bridge can be good for your soul, 'cause you know that there's no going back. So you wake up tomorrow, deal with your sorrow, try to get yourself right back on track. You're the one, you're the one, you're the one that I've been hoping for. You're the one. You are the one, you're the one that can open the door to my heart. It's so hard for someone to believe in true love when you're let down again and again. And though love is elusive, you'll find that the truth is it's never too late to start over again. It takes truth, it takes trust, not just passion and lust, to break down all the walls in the end. For that special connection with a common direction, you must hold on as loose as you can. It's like trying to build a fire in a tropical mist. It's like trying to hold the water in your tightly clenched fist. But if I walk away now, I would be such a fool. If you want to learn to swim, you gotta jump in the pool. Whoa, whoa, you're the one, you're the one, you're the one that I've been hoping for. You're the one, you are the one, you're the one that can open the door to my heart, to my heart. You're the one, you are the one, you're the one. Thank you, folks. Can you turn the guitar down, please? Hey! It didn't explode.
I didn't think it would.
Oh, it did earlier. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good. Hey, everybody. Let's give Michael Elliott Moon another hand. We'll have him come back up in just a little bit. I thought we'd talk to start today about Christianese. Anybody heard that term before, Christianese? No. Okay, so it's this lingo that we use within the church that the person kind of just that's not churched might not know what we mean. So when we say born again, that's a Christianese word. Discipleship, Christianese word. Anybody else have any others that you might think that are Christian-specific words that we use that you don't hear outside of the church? Can you think of any? Yeah. Anything with Bible for sure, yeah. Bible readers, yeah. Bible thumpers. I got all kinds of feedback, Peyton. Yeah, those are all good examples. We talk about things like we're washed in the water. What does that mean? Washed. We're washed in the water. What was that? Yeah, yes. You all know what it is because you're here, but the average person, do they know what we mean? Oh, you took a shower? You never heard washed by the water before? Yeah, but you figured it out. Context clues.
You need a Bible 101 course.
Yeah? Yeah?
And everybody should get it. You know, the problem is, my problem is I went to a private school for high school, and so that is Bible 101 is freshman year. But they don't do that in public school for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You hear walking on water, but you hear it outside of Christianity, a lot, or outside the church. But when somebody wants to give somebody a super compliment, and you know what it refers to, they'll say, well, they walk on water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, that's what they're referring to.
Yep, that's a good one.
And Bridget, I would add that that non-Christians and stuff, they don't know nor do they care, which they shouldn't care. But all of the stuff, oh, he's evangelical, oh, he's Episcopal,
That's
oh, he's
a great point.
he's a fundamentalist, oh, she's she's Pentecostal. Da, da. They don't know, and they don't care all the denominational stuff, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No, you're absolutely right. I can always tell when I'm doing either a funeral or a wedding for somebody that's not a regular church attender, because you see the difference between somebody who's in church all the time and somebody that's not, and they know whether they know the lingo or not. Are we going to stand up in that place where the preacher stands, or are we going to stand somewhere else? The pulpit, right? Yeah. So that there's all kinds of vernacular that we use within Christianity, especially within churches, that we can get lost on. We can lose other people just in the translation. Wasn't that a movie, Lost in Translation?
Now, the question is, why do we still use those terms?
That is a great question. Why do we use those terms? Advent calendar, yeah. I mean, I bet most Christians don't even know what Advent is. Yet we still have the calendar, we still have the Advent wreath, we have it all. Any idea? Let's answer Scott's question. Anybody have any idea of why do we hold on to these antiquated, outdated words? To impress. I don't know what kind of people you're hanging out with. You might need a new crowd. I'm impressed. They use narthex. It makes for good Scrabble words. What's that? Doctrine and tradition, yeah. We are embedded in our own Christian culture, and we don't quite always know how to interact with other cultures that aren't with us. So the main thing I want to talk about, we needed to talk about Christianese because I want to talk about today discipleship, which is Christianese. So what does discipleship mean for you? What does that word mean?
Well, what is a disciple first?
There you go. A gang in Chicago.
Does anybody know what a disciple really is? I mean, that's a term nobody knows. It's not used today in the English language. It doesn't mean anything.
Bill's got the answer.
Somebody
A disciple is a student teacher.
That's the definition? Boy, you got me.
So the generic answer within Christianity is somebody who follows Jesus, but Bill nailed the nail on the head because what you learn what the craft is, and then you replicate it. That's discipleship. It's apprenticeship, really. But again, we get stuck on these old words. And so there's all these books and things that say how to make disciples. The vision statement for the Methodist Church: make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. Okay, but what does that mean? And we're not really doing that, are we? It's not easy. So to be apprenticed then by Jesus, let's use that word today. It includes right thinking, right? So if we're gonna follow Jesus, if we're gonna learn about Jesus, if we're gonna be apprenticed by Jesus, we have to first get our thinking right, so that when we have some kind of understanding of who is this Jesus, how does this Jesus relate to God, how does that relate to Judaism, what's our right thinking? A Bible 101 class, for example, right thinking. The second thing we need is right acting. It doesn't matter if you have all the answers here if you're not living and acting like an apprentice of Jesus. And the last thing is right feeling. And last week, we were talking about something a little bit similar. And I think it was Betty Darce that said, or maybe it was you, Neva, was somebody at that table said...
That table
had the answer of, it's about having peace in our spirit. So when we have a right feeling, right thinking, right acting, now we're starting to be apprenticed by Jesus, yeah? So here's the thing, though. Christianity can be dangerous. Do you think that's true or false? That Christianity, true. I'm hearing a general true. Yeah. So the Inquisition, very dangerous to not be a Christian then. The Crusades. When we begin to get away from this apprentice model and put ourselves as the ones that know everything, we begin to become very dogmatic, religious, so that now it means we can focus more on acting right, for example. So in some circles you may hear that we don't drink, we don't chew, we don't go with those who do. That's an example of somebody focused too much on right acting.
Just remember, it's easy to become a little golden calf.
That's a good point. Yes, it is. And so we can be dangerous if we move into one or the other. The goal is to find the sweet spot. So what does apprenticeship with Jesus look like for you? That's my next question for y'all. What does apprenticeship with Jesus look like?
As far as dangerous, there are places in the world today where it's extremely dangerous to be a Christian. You can be put to death for it today.
Yeah.
Right? Today's verse of the day in YouVersion is 1 John. Whoever claims to live in him must live as Jesus did. Right? And Jesus did say, in this world, you're going to have trouble. But then he said, be of good cheer, I've overcome the world. Well, that doesn't mean you're not going to have trouble. I heard one theologian recently saying, faith in God, being a Christian is not that you won't have problems. It's that the problems won't have you. Mm. Which, I thought was a real good way to put it. But this is not an easy walk, and it's not an easy thing to do unless you're a hermit. And there are times when it's easy, like in church, it's easy to act like a Christian because you got around a bunch of Christians. But it's a little bit different out, in the workplace and out in the world. It's more of a challenge. So you have to be on your toes all the time. Because you'll get these thoughts that come from a very dark place that are not Christian. You have to catch yourself all the time. And of course, that's what it helps to start the day with reading a little bit of the Bible and praying about it, and keep that in your, pray continually. Well, it don't mean be on your knees with the face to the ground. I mean, you can't do that. But be in an attitude of prayer, you know, and prayer is what's prayer, a running conversation with God. Not necessarily it's like, dear God, here, how are you? I am fine. Love, Kenny. That's not, you know, it's just constant conversation in the middle of anything. Oh, by the way, Lord, you know, it's just a running conversation.
Yeah, mine runs to, God, help me not kill these children a lot. Do we?
Yeah, I'll just say that I hate the word Christian, and I hate being called a Christian. That is the absolute conversation stopper. The other day, I work in a restaurant. There were a bunch of really cool kids there that I work with, and one of them was talking about this and that, and I'm standing there listening, and she goes, she's mid-sentence, she goes, Dewey, you're a Christian, so just ignore what we're saying. And then she goes on and stuff. So it's you know, with what Kenny's saying, I couldn't agree more, but that's in private, to me, that's in private with other Christians, you know, who are okay with that. But I just, you know, there's terms like Bible and Christian and church that force, it forces me to run away. And I believe in the Bible and Christianity and church, but, you know, just forces other people to run away. I think Jesus would have hated for his disciples to walk around kind of going, hey, you want to be a Christian? You want to be a Christian? You know, it sounds like a cult or something, you know, but it's, you know, what we're talking, disciple and stuff is being a follower, a seeker after God. And I tell you what, this island is crying for Christians to, I know this sounds weird, but Christians to not be Christians, to in their hearts and in their behavior, absolutely be followers of Christ and all that, but just not being, you know, with the words, you know, stuff like that, because that just drives people away. You know?
Right. So we have cultural Christianity, right? Yeah.
So this discussion cries for the word missionary. The true disciples, in my opinion, the ones that have dedicated to go out and discuss and teach and plead for followers. And as Kenny said, those people, the missionaries, go into the face of danger, mostly into places where they're needed the most, and some survive. So let's hope that works out.
Yeah. Well, you know, we have a thing with cultural Christianity. We tend to think of ourselves still as a Christian nation. I saw a commercial online this week where in Germany they run ads to help have the Germans help feed these poor Americans who aren't getting food. It's the same viewpoint that the predominantly Christian Southern Hemisphere views of America. We used to send missionaries to them. Now they send missionaries to the godless North.
Right. There's also, if you don't want to be labeled, you can just be a good human.
Yeah.
There's just 10 good rules. Simplify, spread the light and joy.
Yeah. My mentor actually often says, Jesus didn't die to make Christians. Jesus died to make better humans. So the best brand of cellos in the world are crafted by apprentices. You can buy, you know, prefabbed cellos. I'm not a cellist, I just admire them. And so what they have to do, though, is the apprentice has to learn the right feel of the wood. It's not about something that is just a piece of knowledge, like, oh, use this kind of wood. No, it's about finding in the wood the right pieces and how they will best carry the sound. And so my point here is that apprenticeship, discipleship, if we still want to use that word, becoming a better human, becoming a Jesus follower without the cultural Christianity, It's more caught than taught. It's more caught than taught. So I can tell my kids till I'm blue in the face, don't cuss, but until they stop hearing us cuss, they're probably going to keep doing. I know, it's true. Right, because it's better caught than taught. Yeah, they're into that exploring different words phase. Super fun.
I think what we're all saying is use everybody that's trying to explain something or to educate people or to try to convince people of something. The first thing you have to do is use words that are being used in the current language at that time and refuse to use words that are from the past. Refuse. And that gives you a chance to succeed. Otherwise, you have no chance because you already have a tough job. And now you've doubled it by using words that nobody wants to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of my, one of my goals is to not be easily identified as a cultural Christian. So I like that I can go incognito. I do have the clergy collar. I don't wear it very often unless I'm like at a protest or I want to make a statement on behalf of the church. But I purposely don't wear it around town because then I can have a conversation with somebody and they have no idea they're talking to the pastor of a church. It's just some lady. So how do we do that? How do we get to a place where we can use those everyday words versus our kind of taught words? How do we move from what we've been taught to helping to catch?
I have two ideas. First of all, you ever see there was a book called The Bible Paraphrased?
Yeah.
That should be rewritten in today's language because I like the idea of giving the Bible in a language that reads more like a novel.
Yeah.
That is in today's language so people understand and stop using words that nobody wants to learn. That's number one. And number two is don't preach to anyone. Make friends, great communication, but don't preach from a higher level. Reach where they are. I think of the disciples from when there was no Christians, right? They started with a bunch of people. Guess what? It's a lot like today. Get down to that level, or get up to that level, however you look at it, and stay there. Talk to them in their language about things they can understand and refuse to preach to them. Refuse to do it.
Don't tell that to Peter. He was a good preacher.
I'm going to say that was very, very Bible-centric because, you say like, refuse to speak down to them or get down to their level. How do you know they're not above you? I mean, there are three major religions here. I mean, one of them could be right. Not likely, but could. I mean, there are 8.5 billion people here, and you're saying Christians are an elite class, and we're speaking up on this plateau, and we have to get down. Why aren't you down here?
That's what he's saying. I think you guys are saying the same thing from opposite directions.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a question of what you think, so stop thinking that.
You're saying the same thing from opposite directions there, both of you.
So I want to use two examples, two friends of mine, Neva and Vanessa. And the reason why I want to use them as examples is that
Vanessa looks worried. I'm just letting you know.
No, but it's examples because I've gotten to know both of these folks for months and months and years, and they're examples in this room of, I think, of what God calls us to be, which is fruits of the Spirit. And whenever I start getting whatever, I just think, okay, fruits of the Spirit that Paul was talking about, joy, peace, patience, and you guys have those qualities, joy, peace, patience. What's a few of the others? But in that short list is not bang people over the head with spiritual truths. It's not memorize the whole Bible. It's none of that religious stuff. It's very much what you were pointing out, human stuff. And I remember Vanessa said one time when she was doing a wedding ceremony that it was so special for this couple that she was crying, that she was crying. Okay, that's someone who understands the fruits of the Spirit and is living them out. And Neva, and I've heard Neva, who is an accomplished artist, talk to people who, I'm not an artist, but I know they didn't know what they were talking about. And Neva was so kind and affirming of them. And I was like, ooh, where Neva could have, done the, look down at somebody, condescension. So I think these two are really good examples of that, living out the fruits that God's calling us to be. And then we get away from really all of this, the stuff we're pointing out, the, Bible-ese and condescension.
Joy, peace, patience, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, and kindness.
I was just thinking the same thing. Patience, tolerance, love, understanding, kindness. When we speak with people, not at people, when we speak with people and show that type of compassion and love and concern and understanding, people gravitate towards that. There will be an opening at some point when people have said, why are you so happy? Why is your life so full? I have an answer for them, And you're right. We don't know if we're right. There's there's a lot more Muslims than there are Christians, and there's a lot of Buddhists. I have family members that are Jewish, which is chapter 1 of a chapter 2 book. That's just my own opinion. Great beginning. But those things are what make us accessible, make us reachable, make us present, and being a Christian are those things. I don't run around saying, yeah, I'm a Christian, I'm a follower of Christ. Hopefully in my actions, we were talking about that a little while ago, me flipping somebody off because they, at the corner, is not a good example of someone to reach out and say, hey, I want to be like that.
Right.
It's easy to do this for an hour on Sunday. It's easy to do it for an hour on Sunday. What about the other 6 days and 23 hours?
Yeah.
This is a daily reprieve based on my spiritual maintenance every single morning. And it doesn't have to be Sermon on the Mount. It's God, help me do better, and thank you very much for, doing a little reflection at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. But it's a daily chore. It's not something that's done in an hour. And if we want to be those people that are approachable, then that's how we have to act. That's the discipleship.
Yeah. This apprenticeship of Jesus that we're talking about is something called simplex. It is simple and it is complex combined. It is so simple to just say, I see that you have peace, or I see that you have patience when you shouldn't. How do I get there? And Jesus is the simple answer, but also the complex answer, because how is Jesus right when there's all these other things? Kenny?
That was very well said, by the way. Always be ready to give an answer or to give a reason for the hope that is within you, but do it with gentleness and respect. So it's like, I think it was Billy Graham, I might be wrong, but anyway, who said, once, like, I don't believe, basically Christianity, I don't believe the message of Jesus or that Jesus, Son of God. I know it. But that still doesn't mean that you can't be gentle and respectful to other people who have other opinions, because if you're going to convince them, you're going to have to be nice about it. That's what it says, always be ready to give a reason for the hope that's within you, but do it with gentleness and respect. Paul, when he was talking to the pagans in, I think, Ephesus, he gave them credit for having some truths, like he said, as your own philosophers have said, and then he built on that. It's like, well, I see you all are very religious because you got all these temples to everybody, and you're afraid of missing one, so you've got one to the unknown God. That's the one I want to tell you about.
Yeah.
So he gave them some, it's not like you're totally stupid and wrong about everything. It's like, well, you've got some right ideas here. Let's build on that. And you can always find a common ground with somebody. You know, you can find some common ground with an atheist, with a Muslim or whatever. There is some common ground somewhere. You can find that, and then you can work from there, you know, but there is always a common ground. But I think the crux of the whole thing is do it with gentleness and respect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the world would be a very different place if we started with relationship instead of trying to get to conversion. Just stay with the relationship. Conversion may happen, it may not, and that's okay.
You know, it seems like most of his teachings all teach us to be humble. You know, when we're trying to love God and love our neighbors, you know, he never really said, okay, if you follow me, you're entitled to look down on everybody else, you know. Right. Feeling entitled by even Christianity is not a good trait, not a good personal trait.
Yeah, great point. Great point. So to be a follower of Jesus is to be an apprentice of Jesus, spend time with him, get to know who Jesus is, learn the curves in the wood, if you will. I'll pray for us, but before I close our time, I had a couple of housekeeping things I forgot to mention. The first is Neva has an art show coming up at Stone Soup. So speaking of Neva, the great artist, Stone Soup is on White Street. White Street, just south of Southard on the right-hand side if you're coming from this way. 802 White Street. December 4th. And her art's there now, so you could go buy Neva art. Yes. She's been busy. So that's the 4th. The 3rd, we Wesley House, who we work with and support, is having a belated, whatever, a bike ride thing at Truman Waterfront Park. It'll be lots of fun. They needed a name that I could remember better. They do need volunteers, and so Grace was in here but walked out. If you're able to help with the bike event, let me know, and I'll connect you to Grace Epperly, who works for Wesley House and is a member here at the church. What else am I missing? I think that's everything. Okay, let's pray. God, thank you for this time that we've had together this morning in conversation. Help us to be aware of the words that we use. Help us to move from cultural Christianity to people who are apprenticed by Jesus, the Master, so that we can be patient and kind and faithful and good and all of the fruit of the Spirit that you bring about in us. Help us in all our ways to give our lives back to you as an example of people who follow you. In your name we pray, amen. All right, good conversation, guys. I'm going to invite Michael back up.
Now, this is the time of year where we all are grateful to be here in Key West, because I saw the weather this morning, and it's freezing up there in a lot of places. I call it the Great White North. That's what I call it. I want no part of it. But we get a lot of those people who just can't take the cold and they come down here and enjoy our weather. And I wrote this song for those people. I got a call from Jimmy in Chicago. He said the planes just can't take off due to ice and snow and a 30-knot blow. O'Hare has just been closed. He said they sat on the runway for hours, then they had to disembark. And now the terminal's crazy, everyone is upset. I can tell he had a heavy heart. So I bid him good luck and I hung up the phone. Then I thanked my lucky stars that I'm down in Key West with the warm ocean breeze, playing my new guitar. We've got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. From Largo to Key West, there's boating and fishing while the palm trees dance and sway. Yeah, we've got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. Morning I'll bike over to White Street Pier, play my guitar to the rising sun, then watch girls in bikinis playing beach volleyball. Tell me what could be more fun. Fish tacos at Garbo's and Grunts for lunch, then a few drinks down at Sloppy Joe's. When the sun finally sets down on Mallory Square, performers put on quite a show. And we've got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. From Largo to Key West, there's boating and fishing while the palm trees dance and sway. Yeah, we've got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. After days of delays in Chicago, Jimmy finally knocked on my door. With a smile on his face and a guitar in his hand, he was happy now, that's for sure. At Fort Jackson, under the pines, watching girls sunbathe on the beach. Just grateful to be here in Key West, where you never know what tomorrow will bring. But we've got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. From Largo to Key West, there's boating and fishing where the tarpon sailfish play. Yeah, we've got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. Yes, we got 12 inches of sunshine in the Florida Keys today. This is the song I call The Lie. If you ever wonder just what I feel inside, well, I'm not so sure that I know myself The Lord knows how hard I've tried. But mostly I'm skeptical because of all that I have seen. Is true love an illusion? Will it ever happen to me? The good life is within your reach. It just depends on what you've learned. It's not in fancy cars or singles bars, and it's not how much you earn. But it's not my place to tell you about what is right or what is wrong. You don't need me and my advice to get along. Now, used to be's are so easy. You can relive them all day long. They'll never get you anywhere. They cannot help you bear your load. And I used to spend a lot of time dreaming about the things I'd like to do. And lately I've been thinking I'd like to do them all with you. So ask me in a year or two about the things I feel inside. Then maybe I'll see things differently. I forget the tears I've cried. But spend with me what time you can, 'cause time keeps passing by. And for now I'll say I don't love you, even though it is a lie. Whoa. Yes, for now, I'll say I don't love you, even though it is a lie. Blank, just blank. No. Oh, I got something somewhere. I got something somewhere. Bye. Now, for those of you that don't know my history, 12 and a half years ago, I had a near-death experience, and I was given a second chance at life, and I decided to take it. And it is a different life. And I hadn't played music in 10 years, and let's just say I drank a little too much. And, well, my last drink killed me, and so I don't need another one. You know? So it's been 12 and a half years, and it has been a different life. And I got my music back, and I write, and I do all this. I get to play music for people, make people smile for a living, and here in Key West, and it's just a whole different life. So I think about it often, almost daily. And one morning I was watching the sunrise over on White Street Pier, and I was sitting there with my guitar, and as the sun started to come up, it turned out of all the sunrises I had seen, it was the most amazing thing I had ever